Hi children, welcome to the online classes. My name is Sirisha, NSCRT, KGBV Tada. Hi children, good morning everybody. Today our session Motion and Time Part 2. In the previous class we learned motion and rest, cause of motion, distance, time, types of motion. ఈ ఐదుటి గురించి మనం లాస్ట్ క్లాస్లో నేర్చుకున్నాం. నెక్స్ట్ ఈరోజు క్లాస్లో యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్, నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్, స్లో అండ్ ఫాస్ట్ మోషన్, స్పీడ్, డిస్టెన్స్ అండ్ టైమ్ గ్రాఫ్స్, ఇండియా ఇన్ స్పేస్ టెక్నాలజీ గురించి మనం ఈ క్లాస్లో నేర్చుకున్నాం. ఫస్ట్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్ అండ్ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్. యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్. If a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, then the body is said to be in uniform motion. Uniform motion కి examples movement of hands of a clock, rotation of earth, revolution of moon around the earth, the fan in air cooler running at fixed speed, revolution of earth around the sun, blades of a propeller. Non-uniform motion. If a body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. A boy cycling in a crowded place, movement of housefly, a train entering and leaving a railway station, the motion of the object thrown into the air, running horse, a car coming to a halt, a bus on a hilly track. ఇవన్నీ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్స్కి ఎగ్జాంపుల్. యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్ అండ్ నాన్ యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్. యూనిఫామ్ మోషన్. If a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, then the body is said to be in uniform motion. Uniform motion కి examples movement of hands of a clock, rotation of earth, revolution of moon around the earth, the fan in air cooler running at fixed speed, revolution of earth around the sun, blades of a propeller. Non-uniform motion. If a body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. Children, you may observe, measure the angle between two successive positions of the minute hand in a wall clock. We observe that the change into position is same for every minute. But in the case of the butterfly, the change in its position is not constant while it is flying from one flower to another in the garden. We understand that the minutes hand in wall clock covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, and the butterfly covers unequal distance in equal intervals of time. Hence, we can say that the minutes hand in a wall clock has uniform motion and the butterfly has non-uniform motion. 5.7 Slow and fast motion. The distance travelled by an object in a given interval of time can help us to decide whether it is faster or slower. The distance travelled by an object in a given interval of time can help us to decide whether it is faster or slower. We know that some vehicles move faster than others. Even the same vehicle may move faster or slower at different times. If vehicles are moving on a road in the same direction, we can easily tell which one of them is moving faster than the other. మనము కొన్ని వాహనాలు ఇతర వాహనాల కంటే వేగంగా కదులుతూ ఉండడం మనం చూస్తుంటాం. ఒకే వాహనము సందర్భాన్ని బట్టి వేగంగా లేక నెమ్మదిగా కదలడం మనం గమనిస్తూ ఉంటాం. వాహనాలన్నీ ఒకే రోడ్డు మీద ఒకే దిశలో కదులుతూ ఉన్నట్లయితే వాటిలో ఏవి వేగంగా కదులుతున్నాయి, ఏవి నెమ్మదిగా కదులుతున్నాయో మనం చెప్పగలం. We can say that bicycle take more time than the bus to cover the same distance. So, we can say bicycles is slower than the bus. In the same way, if you take same interval of time, bus will cover more distance than bicycle. So, we can say bus is faster than bicycle. So, we need to know about distance covered, time taken by the body in motion to decide whether the motion is slow or fast. Do you find any relation between distance and time? Speed. 5.8 Speed. The distance travelled by an object in a unit time is called speed. Basic unit of speed equal to meter per second. Speed formula. Speed, distance by time. You might have observed the speedometer in motor vehicles, which has needle that tells us how fast it is traveling. The reading of odometer shows the distance travelled by a vehicle in kilometers. The speedometer shows the speed in kilometers per hour. Kilometer per hour. In our day-to-day life, most of the objects do not moving uniformly throughout their journey. Hence, to express the speed to the object, we consider its average speed. Name of the instrument which is used to indicate the speed of running vehicles. Write the names of instruments used to measure distance, odometer, speed, speedometer. How to calculate the average speed? Average speed is the ratio of total distance covered and total time taken by the body to cover the distance. Average speed equal to total distance travelled by total time taken, total time taken. At particular instant of time, we can find speed of vehicle to using speedometer. This speed is called instantaneous speed. Units of speed. Units of speed is meter per second, kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. 1 hour equal to 3600 seconds. Kilometer per hour 1000 by 3600. 5/18 అనేది ఎలా వచ్చింది అనేది మనకి ఇక్కడ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకున్నాం. 1000 by 3600 చేసినప్పుడు టూ జీరోస్ క్యాన్సిల్ పోయింది. ఇప్పుడు 2 5లు 10, 2 18లు 36. అప్పుడు 5/18 మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ అనేది మనకి ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది. నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకొక లెక్క చూద్దాం. ద డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ 2 stations ఈజ్ 240 kilometers. A train takes 4 hours to cover this distance. Calculate the speed of the train in meter per second. ఇక్కడ మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ ఇచ్చాడు, దాన్ని మనం కనుక్కోవాలి. డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ 2 stations ఎంత ఇచ్చాడు మనకి ఇక్కడ? 240 kilometers. టైం టేకెన్ టు కవర్ ద డిస్టెన్స్ 4 hours. We know that స్పీడ్ ఫార్ములా ఏంటి? స్పీడ్ ఈక్వల్ టు డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైం. ఇక్కడ డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత? 240. టైం ఎంత? 4 hours. 240/4. అప్పుడు 4th టేబుల్తో మనం క్యాన్సిలేషన్ చేస్తే 60 kilometers per hour అనేది వచ్చింది. ఇక్కడ మనకి మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్లో వచ్చింది కాబట్టి మనం దాన్ని మార్చాలంటే 5/18తో 60ని మనం క్యాన్సిలేషన్ చేయాలి. 60 × 60 × 5/18 ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంత వస్తుంది మనకి? 16.66 మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్. స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ ద ట్రైన్ 16.66 మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్. ఇంకొక లెక్క చూద్దాం. ఏ బాయ్ రన్స్ 200 meters in 5 seconds. వాట్ ఈస్ ద స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ బాయ్? ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ మనం స్పీడ్ ఫార్ములా మనకు తెలియాలి. స్పీడ్ డిస్టెన్స్ బై టైం. ఇక్కడ స్పీడ్ ఎంత ఇచ్చాడు చూడండి. డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత ఉంది? 200. టైము 5 seconds. అక్కడ ఎంత వచ్చింది? 40 meters per second. స్పీడ్ ఆఫ్ బాయ్ 40 meters per second. నెక్స్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్ టైమ్ గ్రాఫ్స్. డిస్టెన్స్ టైమ్ గ్రాఫ్ ప్రొవైడ్ ఏ వెరైటీ ఆఫ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అబౌట్ ద మోషన్. Distance time graph provides information about the speed and nature of motion of the object. Let us learn how to draw such graphs. Take a sheet of graph paper. Distance is usually plotted along y-axis or the vertical axis, while time usually plotting along x-axis or the horizontal axis. Distance and time graph uses. We can know the nature of motion of a body. We can know the speed of the body if the graph contains more than one line. We can guess which body is faster. Let us learn how to draw such graph. ఇక్కడ మనకు యాక్టివిటీ 6 ఇచ్చాడు. యాక్టివిటీ 6 ప్లాటింగ్ డిస్టెన్స్ టైమ్ గ్రాఫ్. Plotting distance time graph, table 4th, serial number, time, distance. Consider the following situation. Robert and Kamala measured the distance travelled while coming to school at the time taken to cover the distance. Their data shown in the table. You can draw a graph by following the steps given below. Draw two perpendicular lines to represent the two axes. Mark them as OX and OY. OX and OY. Mark OX as time axis and OY as distance axis. Thus, a scale to represent distance and time on the graph. Time 1 minute equal to 1 centimeter ga manu teeskovali. Distance 100 meters equal to 1 centimeters. Mark value for the time and the distance are the respective axis according to the scale you have chosen. Now, you have to mark the points on the graph paper to represent each set of values and join all the points on the graph. This is the distance time graph for the given motion. If the distance time graph is a straight line, it indicates that the object is moving with a constant speed. However, if the speed of the object keeps changing, the graph can be of any other shape. From the distance and time graph, we can find the speed of object. Have you seen launching of rocket in TV? How does it move? Do you know which Indian organization is working for it? From where these rockets are launched? Let us discuss about 5.10 India in Space Technology. Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. Indian Space Research Organization with the vision of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Indian Space Research Organization was formed in 1969. Dr. Sivan is the present chairman of ISRO. Throughout the years, ISRO has upheld its mission of bringing space technology to the service of the common man. In the process, it has become one of the 6 largest space agencies in the world. ISRO maintains one of the largest communication satellites, INSAT, and remote sensing IRS satellites for fast and reliable communication and Earth observation. SLV, Satellite Launch Vehicle. ASLV, Augmented Satellite Launch. Augmented Satellite Launch. PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. GSLV, Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle. geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. GSLV Mark III are the major rocket system used to send the satellites by ISRO. On the 18th June 2016, ISRO launched 20 satellites in a single vehicle, and on 15th February 2017, ISRO launched 104 satellites in a single rocket. It is a world record. Next, SHAR. SHAR, SHAR. Satish Dhawan Space Center. Satish Dhawan Space Center. SDSC. The Space Center, which was popularly known as SHAR. Sriharikota High Altitude Range. High Altitude Range. The Space Center, which was popularly known as SHAR, was renamed as Satish Dhawan Space Center. SHAR on September 5th, 2002, in the memory of Professor Satish Dhawan, former chairman of ISRO. It is an island of technological excellence wherein nature coexists with the technocrats. Satish Dhawan Space Center is located in Sriharikota, SPSR Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh. It is the spaceport of India. It is one of the main centers of the Indian Space Research Organization, Department of Space, Government of India. This center provides world-class launch-based infrastructure for different launch vehicle satellite missions, for remote sensing communication, navigation, and scientific purposes. It is one among the best known name of the spaceports of the world today. Next, rockets. Rockets are devices that produce force push needed to move an object forward. Rockets are used to launch spacecraft and satellites. They are also used to shoot missiles. Have you noticed what happens if you let the air out of inflated balloon? The air comes out of balloon in one of direction, and the balloon moves on the opposite direction with the same speed. Rockets also works in the same way. Exhaust gases coming out of the engine's nozzle at the high speed push the rocket forward. Have you observed the movement of Diwali rocket's cracker? Is there any similarity between movements of rocket cracker and real rocket? Diwali rocket cracker takes flight when it is fired. Motion of the actual rocket is similar to it. Artificial satellites. An artificial satellite is a man-made object launched to revolve around the earth. The size, altitude and design of a satellite depends on its purpose. Have you ever feel wonder and of knowing weather report in advance? How Google Maps give route maps between two places. This is possible because of artificial satellites. Let us know about these artificial satellites. Navigation satellites, communication satellites, weather satellites, Earth observation satellites, astronomical satellites, space stations are different types of artificial satellites. Application of artificial satellites. There are several applications of satellites in our daily life. Among them, some are important. Communication. The geostationary satellites are used for communication purposes like long distance, telephone calls, internet and television broadcasting. Collect information about space and plants. Collection of information about natural resources of Earth. Weather forecasting. Location through GPS, Global Positioning System. Used to transport instruments and passengers to the space to perform experiment. ఇంతవరకు మనం మోషన్ అండ్ టైం లెసన్ని మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం. ఈ మోషన్ అండ్ టైం లెసన్ని 10 కాన్సెప్ట్స్గా డివైడ్ చేశారు. ఫస్ట్ కాన్సెప్టు మోషన్ అండ్ రెస్ట్, సెకండ్ కాన్సెప్టు మోషన్ అండ్ కాజ్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్, థర్డ్ కాన్సెప్టు డిస్టెన్స్, ఫోర్త్ టైం, ఫిఫ్త్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్, సిక్స్త్ యూనిఫామ్ and non-uniform motion, seventh slow and fast motion, speed, distance, time graphs, India in space technology.